As well. I'm really sorry, I've forgotten about the recording. So this slide has been missed by recording. So anyway, there is not that much difficult thing in this slide. If you are having some question, then you can ask regarding uh, any any terms and word. Okay. The benefit of having clear objective. If you're having a clear objective, why I'm telling why we are so much concerned about the clear objectives, because most of the business failures are done because of the not having clear objectives and target. You even then, if you see your around surrounding people, that your friend and your family and friends, they are doing business but they get failed. And if you ask the reason, or if you investigate about the reason of their failure, you would find that their targets, their objectives are not clear. So almost 90% plus business failure are due to the illogic or unexplainable or unrealistic kind of objectives. So if you have clear objectives, clear target, and understandable, hierarchical, obtainable, realistic, congruent, understandable, if you are taking all these characteristics of objectives, then there is no reason is left to get success in that target achievement. Otherwise, if you are losing something, if you're losing quantitativity, if you're losing measurement, if the targets and objectives are not realistic, if they're not understandable, they're not obtainable, they're not hierarchical, they're not challenging, you cannot grow, you cannot get success in the business. So if you are having a clear objectives, then what the benefits we are receiving? We are receiving a single line of direction by revealing expectations, because clear objectives, and those objectives which you are making for your organization, those objectives must be conveyed in well stated to your managers, to your employees. Because if you are keeping your objectives into your mind and nobody knows about it, so it is not understandable, it is not obtainable. So you must need to explain, you must need to convey, you must need to communicate your objectives, your goals, your target to your team members. Because if they are not known about the clear meaning of the targets, objectives, so they cannot figure their activities out in one direction. So if your message, or if your activities, or if your objectives are clearly communicated to the people, clearly distributed, the task are distributed to your team members, then it provides you the simple single direction. By revealing expectation, means that you're revealing people that I need that, I want to achieve that. And then the second thing is, this objective allows synergy. It means that by having synergy means that all the people are working for one single goal. If there would not a single goal is there, then everybody would be working for themselves. Their activities are not aligned. Their activities are not in one direction. There would be no synergy in it. But if every member, every employee, every manager is working for one clear target and one clear objectives, it means their all activities are aligned to each other. Marketing manager is very well know that what is happening into the finance section. The finance is very well aware about the production activity. The production activities are very well communicated with the other section of the organization. If all the sections of the organization are being communicated, being interacted with each other simultaneously, then this is called a synergy. So that's why clear objectives, clear goals, they allow synergy in your system. And then it aid in evaluation by serving as a standard. Because if you set targets, if you give tasks to the people, it means that you have made such certain types of standards, because every employee, every manager, every workman, every workforce is being given the targets. And obviously those targets is actually the standards. If you take some tasks and it is given to some kind of a employee or laborer, that by you are up to create this kind of product or this kind of finishing, so he knows the standard of the finishing. He knows that what kind of a finishing would be accepted and what kind of finishing would be rejected. So if everybody knows about its target, that what target should be what target is expected and what should be accepted, so it means that you have made some standard into the people minds. And if you have made some standard, you can evaluate very well. You can evaluate very well. Similarly, let's say if some आपके सामने खाना आता है, if you are sitting on the meal, और आप उस खाने को खाने के बाद if you take a morsel of that meal and you find it that the meal is not good, why you're saying that the meal is not good? Because there is certain standard is in your mind, and that meal is not fulfilling that standard. So that's how that meal becomes not good. So everybody should have standards according to their job, according to their tasks. And above that, the fourth thing is establish priorities. My targets, my goals, my objectives are clearly communicated to the people. So they are being advised, they are being guided that you must follow those activities which are leading to my objectives. You must not indulge yourself in those activities which are not related to me, which are not concerned to me. So that's how the priorities are established for the each and every employee of the firm. But if your objectives and goals are not clear, they are not clearly communicated, so how can they figure them out their activities? What should be done and what should not be done? And all these things is common in any kind of business organization or project organization. You're the student of the project management. Reduce uncertainty, and again it is a related term. People are certain about their goals, people are certain about their targets, people are certain about their achievements. But if your goals are not clearly objected or not communicated clearly, then people would remain uncertain all the time. What to do, where to go, why we are doing it, what are the standards, what are the expectations. So expectation, target, directions, if they are clear, then there is no uncertainty. Minimize conflicts, definitely. If all people are towards single targets, so their activities would be aligned. They would be supporting each other. But if the target is not clear, if the aim is not clear, everybody would be doing their own work. Finance section would be fighting with the marketing one, marketing would be fighting with the production kind of department. So they would be fighting each other. They would be having conflicts to each other because they are not following the same simple targets. So targets or objective might be very clear and clearly stated to the employees. Simulate exertion. Stimulate exertion means that you can use your employee energies, because employees are very energetic. They obviously they want to work, they want to earn money, and they have the abilities, they have the qualification abilities, they have talent. So those talent, those abilities must be used efficiently. They must not be indulging into such kind of activities which are not benefiting them, which are not benefiting you. So you can stimulate their exertion, their energies, their workouts, and simply and again it aid in the allocation of resources. You can allocate your resources very well because you are given clear goals, and according to their goals, get their task, their job, you assign them resources. You allocate the resources, you allocate the money, you allocate the physical resources. You are giving them some machines, some equipment, some computers, some amount of money, even raw material, and obviously the quantity of all these equipment is being calculated according to the having clear objective, and aid in the design of jobs. When any employee if joins the organization, so there is a job designed for him, what he will be doing, what's the job of that position. So the position of the job, the job description, job specification, all these things can be easily handled if the objectives is clear, and it provides basis for the consistent decision making. And definitely you can then, every organization, every project, every activity is depending upon your decisions. And if your decisions are good, if your decisions are prudent, if your decisions are well designed, well communicated, then it is called consistency. And all these things, these 10 qualities and characteristics, or these 10 benefits only can be achievable if you're having clear objective, and those objectives are clearly communicated to your each employee. So you can ask any question if you want to ask. Otherwise, I will proceed to next slide. Uh, Financial versus strategic objectives. I would not detail this slide because this is a little bit of different discussion. Definitely, there are two kind of objectives: financial objectives and strategy. Normally, the goals, the targets, normally they are the people are of the thinking that the objective of every organization is to earn money. It is not like that. It is not like that, that every organization is having only and only financial objectives. It is not to earn money all the time. It is something which is related to the value creation. Okay, because just earning the money, it makes a sense of what we can say, very unsocial kind of approach. Just to earn money, it is not a good statement. But if you set some targets which make you for the benefit, as a benefit for the whole society, then the whole society is not concerned about money only. It demands some values. No sir. What mean by no sir? I didn't understand that. मोहम्मद अब्बास साहब, आपने नो सर कहा है, तो मुझे कुछ समझ में नहीं आई इसकी कि व्हाई यू आर सेइंग नो सर. एनीवे, आगे बढ़ते हैं. So financial objectives are very much very particular kind of a type, right? you want to you want to have growth in revenues, you want to growth in earning, you want to have higher dividends, you want to have larger profit margin, you need to have greater return on investment, and you need to have rising stock prices, improve cash flow. So all these kind of targets are basically the financial objectives, but strategic objectives are uh, more than that. You want to expand your firm, the firm expansion, it is not financial objective. You want to create some new ventures, you want to introduce more products, you want to make your brand as the biggest brand of the market. So these kind of a long-term objectives are totally different with the financial one, because financial objectives are normally short-term objectives and the long-term objectives are normally strategic objectives. Let me tell you, because if you want to earn revenues, if you want to earn money, if you want to have good dividends, so these all these kind of activities are short-term activities. You need not a bigger or larger time to earn that, because any good business can earn money in couple of months. So what then? So that's why the financial objectives are normally very shorter period of time. But if you want to get more than that, some strategic objectives, you want to create new product, new markets, you want to expand yourself, you want to create new ventures, new products, new markets, you want to win the world. So that is not short term kind of objectives, and these kind of approach is not limited to the finance only. Definitely Mark Zuckerberg was not having the objective to earn money only. He want to create something value, some values in the society. He's serving the people. Bill Gates is serving the people. Okay, after 10 minutes, this session would be would going to be end because of this 40-minute slot of the Zoom. Then if I'm disconnected, don't go anywhere. I will be in connection immediately. Okay. Okay. So let's go further. Balance the scorecard. I am skipping this one because there's something which is not yet related to right now, because it is having something little bit more detail. I will be going to the level of strategies in a large company and in a small company. If you have, if you remember that in the first slide, I have shown you here hierarchical. This term hierarchical is concerned to this two graphs. These are the hierarchies, levels. So they are the level of management or level of decision making management. And decision making management in the large company have 4 levels, and a small company they have 3 levels, normal in common. In large company, the decision are being made into 4 levels. First of all, the major and main line of direction is given by the corporate level, chief executive officer or the owner of the firm. So main idea is pitched by the corporate level, and then that idea is explained to the divisional level. By this kind of achievement we want, and now follow some activities to achieve that target. So these divisional levels, which might be the president and executive and vice president of different departments, or sorry, of organization, the team of your, the highest team that is made up for such planning So they plan for your target. They make plan. They make uh, 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 visible and feasible kind of paperwork, which can be done, which can be taken into consideration in the real practices for that target, which is being explained by the corporate level. And if the plan is being done, then this plan is again further explained to the functional levels. Then the finance division, marketing division, R&D, manufacturing, information system, and human resource managers, they are given the task. And those managers fulfill those targets, tasks by giving more duties to what? To operational level, to plant manager, to sales manager, production manager, and department managers. So that's how the large company does follow some such practices into these four different level of hierarchy. But in the small firm, there are just only three levels: company level, owner or president, and then the functional level. Because here you can see that the second level is a little bit different. Divisional level, you can say the country manager or regional manager. These kind of things are which are related to the this level, because these divisional level is not for the departments, it is for the whole organization. If you set a team and that team is thinking for organization as a whole, then it means that you are having a divisional level. Otherwise, if you don't have such kind of a team, if you are having some manager who are taking the responsibility of their own area only, it is not for whole organization. You are having finance manager who thinks only for finance. You have marketing manager who is thinking only for marketing. Your R&D research and development manager who is the job whose job is to think about the R&D only. So if you have such kind of a team, that the team members are given their own areas and they are not thinking about the whole organization, but they are responsible for their own departments, then it means that you are missing the second level. And in the small companies, that second level is not present. In small companies, obviously, the company is small. They are not having a bigger money. They are not having a millions of rupees to pay high for that second level. So they take all the activities through their functional managers. And those functional manager, marketing manager, finance manager, R&D, manufacturing, information system, they further assign the task to operational level, plant manager, sales manager, production and department managers to achieve the target. So that's how these decisions are being communicated, divided into divisions and operation level. So that's how your goals are being followed. And the level of strategies mean that every level of this hierarchy would create some strategy. The company level, the owner or president is having a strategy, a bigger strategy in mind. And then that strategy is being explained to the functional level. Then functional level, the finance manager, marketing manager, R&D, they then create their own strategies to achieve their duties, the tasks, the targets. And if those targets are explained further to the operational level, like plant manager, then plant manager is again would create some strategy for their job, for his job only. So if you feel the difference that the company level or owner or president is thinking for the whole organization, while the functional level, finance, marketing, R&D, they are thinking for their own department only, and the operational level, they are thinking for their task only. They are not concerned to the bigger uh, 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 picture. They are not concerned to the organizational level kind of work or decisions. They just take decision to their own limited circle. So these are some little information about the strategic level of the organization. And then if someone asks me, sir, what are basic strategies in the organization, so they have been explained in these different classifications. You can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 strategies are here explained, and 5 more after that I would be explaining. 16 strategies are here to explain in a larger term or in larger meaning. Strategies are not only these, just let me tell you that this is not limited list of these 16 strategies. They can be more than that. On functional level or ground level, everybody is making their own strategy, but at the company level, organizational level, bigger level, the higher hierarchy, the top hierarchy, what we say that the company level, owner or president level. So at that level, we are having 16 kind of bigger strategies. Otherwise, the strategy can be explained by the functional level for their own task, operational level by their own activities. So every activity can be called a strategy if it is coming up with the definition of strategy. But at the company level and owner or president level, the 16 bigger strategies are being explained here. Uh, 4 major classifications are there, and in 4 major classification, we are having 11 different strategies. The first one is vertical integration strategies. Then okay, last minute is running on, and in that minute, sorry. Okay, G. So here I'm having some integration on forward linkages. I'm having integration with backward linkages. I'm having integration with the horizontal linkages. What we mean by integration? Integration means to get engaged with the people. That is called integration. Let's say it's simple. If you are a businessman and if you're buying technology, if you're buying computers, if you're buying raw materials, if you're buying any kind of resource, so that's mean that you are engaged, you are related, you are interrelated with the people who are providing you the resources. It means that you are having integration with them. Integration is a little bit more official term. You will be having some agreements, you will be having some bonds with them. Even though if you are paying them, so you would not be paying them in cash, you would be paying them into account of any bank. So that become a more official kind of a manner, and that official kind of engagement can be called as integration. So you can integrate with the buyer, you can integrate with the seller, you can integrate with your co-competitors. So that kind of strategies are called vertical strategies or vertical integration strategies. The first thing is forward integration. Forward integration means that you are making relationship, you are making engagements, you are making interacted with the forward linkages. What is forward linkages? I've explained already that if you are related with those people who are selling your product, like distributors, like retailers, like your customers, even you have made product, you have finished it up, you have packed them, and now you are going to sell them. And for selling that product, you need to have some engagement with people. You need to have some engagement with distributions. You have need to you need to have some relation with the retailers. And definitely the marketing golden rule is that you have to create your own value in the eyes of customers. So you are making forward integration. Now, as I said that the integration is more formal and official form. Now, what that official formity in the forward linkage? Now, see the definition. Forward integrations mean that the gaining ownership or increase control over the distributors or retailers. Now think, just see the difference. I've explained integration as the engagement, the interrelation, the connections, the relationship. I've made this kind of meaning for integration, but the integration is more formal, more organized. It is not only a relationship. To integrate means you are more officially having some control. Now think that your product is being sold by whom? It is sold by distributors. It is sold by retailers. Now the question here is that either your distributor or retailer is selling your product efficiently or not. Because obviously distributor is not for you only. Distributor is selling so many other products as well. The retailer is not selling your product only. Retailer is selling so many other products as well, brands as well. And you want them to sell your product efficiently. So there is some kind of a conflict over there. Because if you're trying to enforce your distributor and retailer, so it's not only you who is forcing them. Your competitor is also doing such kind of enforcement. So they might create a conflict between them, between you and competitors. So what do you want? You want that your distributors and your retailer would sell your product in large. How would it be done? That your distribution and retailer is selling your product in large and he is not concerned to other products. It is not possible. It is only possible that you get control over distributor and retailer officially. And if you are doing such activities, if you're following such actions, that you are getting more control over distributors, more control over retailers, it means that you are going for forward integration. Because integration is more formal, integration is more official term of a kind of a term. Jabke I have explained that any kind of a relationship can be called integration, but relationship is something different, which is casual. But integration term is more official. It is not casual kind of a relationship. It is more official. It is more sophisticated. It is more lawful. So if you want to get control over your distributor who is selling your product, or if you want to control over the retailers who is selling your product, and you want them that your product should be sold in large. So obviously you cannot enforce them by power or by having gun in your hand. So you get control over distributors, control over retailers by some kind of a trade agreement. You would definitely go for some agreement with your distributor because you would be making it more official. So making this more official, you would go for some agreements with your distributors. You would go for some kind of a pact with your retailers and distributors. So if you're doing this, if you're following this kind of a strategy, it means that you're following forward integration strategy. Now, there are 6 guidelines indicate that when forward integration may be an especially effective strategies. Now the question is that आप ये पूछ सकते हैं, you can ask me, sir, if you are doing the forward integration, it means that your competitors also would be doing this kind of a forward integration. So then what? So this is the business war. And in this business war, obviously, who wins? That person wins who is following or who is taking prudent and timely decisions. Let's say if you're going to have some kind of good agreement with your distributors, but you get to know that your distributor is already done this kind of agreement with your competitor, that you lost your position. This is actually the business war in the market. So there are 6 guidelines that would indicate that when the forward integration is going to be necessary. So these 6 guidelines are: when present distributors are especially expensive or unreliable or incapable of meeting the firm's distribution need. As I said, that if you want that your product should be sell efficiently, and you find that your distributor is expensive, that your distributor is becoming unreliable, incapable of you meeting firm's distribution needs, then you go and get control over distribution. Even you can create your own distribution firm, like subsidiary firm we say. There are so many firms that they are having their own distribution firms. In Peshawar, आपने देखा होगा वो जो क्या है वो हारून प्लाजा था, वो कौन सा था? And that Harun Plaza, that was a distributor, but they were making their own medicines as well. So इस तरह के लोग activities करते हैं. Even though the bigger companies can their own retailers as well. देखते कि भाई if there are in fabrics you can take examples. आप देखते हैं बड़े बड़े designers होते हैं. There are a lot of designers of the fabrics, and they sell their brands by their own outlets and shops. They're becoming their own retailers. They are not going to distribute their product through distributors. They are making their own distributions. So that's how you can control over distributors and retailers. Or when the availability of the quality distribution is limited, if you see that the distribution is not giving you the quality distribution, then you take control over it. Either you buy that distributor, or you make some agreement with that distributor, or you make your own distribution. And when an industry is expected to continue to grow markedly, an organization's ability to diversify if its basic industry flatters by existing distributors. It means that your firm want to grow speedily, and bigger growth obviously need a big distributions, and your current distributors is not capable to to align with your expansion, then you need to have control over distribution as well again. Or when the capital and human resources are enough to manage the new businesses of distributing its own product. Why would you be selling your product through distribution if you can do it by yourself? If you have enough amount of money, if you have a good number of people who can distribute your product, so why would you go to distribute your product through some other distributor? Why you are not doing by yourself? Because if you have money, if you have human and capital resources, if you can do this distribution job by yourself, then you would definitely go for you. Or when the advantages of the stable production are particularly high, if you can see that the particular kind of a production would be having high demand in the present market. So again, this point, this I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 number point is uh, uh, related to the 3 number points. Incapability, ability, because high demand of product would be having more production, more selling, and for more selling, you need to have more distributions. But if your distributions or distributors are not having enough capability that they would align or they would stand by you with your high demand, so you would go for your own distribution. Then the last one is when present distributors or retailers have high profit margin and price them more competitive by the integrating forward. It means that your distribution or your distributor is getting more profit than you. Why why they are earning from your product that high much profit? You're selling product on the in rupees 10, and your distributor is selling further on rupees 50. So why you are letting this happen into the market? Because your product is becoming expensive, your product is becoming a unaffordable to the customer by your distributor's profit. So for eliminating that distributor profit, you get take control of that distribution. So these 6 guidelines would be telling us that why and when we would go for forward integration. If you find no problem at all, let's say if you find that, sir, there is no problem in these 6 guidelines do we have, so you not need to get integration. You can just get a good relation with your distribution only. Because again, having a relationship is very casual form of a integration, or not integration, engagement. But when you get integrated, it means that you are going to get control through some proper and legal lawful channels. I think that this thing or this much amount of load is enough for today. What do you think? आज के लिए इतना काफी है?
जी सर,
ओके जी, थैंक यू वेरी मच. आपको ये वीडियो जो है ये थोड़ी देर में मिल जाएगी. And as well as if you want to ask any question, then you can ask. मुझे पहले अटेंडेंस लेने दीजिए जरा प्लीज. मैं इसका एक स्क्रीनशॉट ले लेता हूँ.
सर ये जो मार्जिन की बात जो इन्होंने की है ना,
जी 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 प्लीज.
सर ये मतलब इसकी मतलब कोई खास रेट या मतलब कोई खास परसेंटेज हो
देखिए
सकती
ना,
है कि नहीं? मतलब
आप देखें, आप कि जब भी कोई प्रोडक्ट डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन के थ्रू सेल होती है तो उनके दरमियान प्राइस में एग्रीमेंट्स होते हैं, कमीशंस के एग्रीमेंट्स होते हैं, मार्जिन के एग्रीमेंट्स होते हैं, बिल्कुल होते हैं, उनकी परसेंटेजेस होती हैं. तभी तो आपकी प्रोडक्ट जो है ये इसको कहते हैं, ये मिडिल मैन का जो एक इंस्टीट्यूशन है ना, ये मिडिल मैन का इंस्टीट्यूशन आपकी प्राइसेस को हाई कर देता है. चीज़ बनती है 10 रुपए में, आप 10 या 5 रुपए आप जो है डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन को भी दे रहे हैं, आप रिटेलर को भी दे रहे हैं, तो वो 10 रुपए में की चीज बनने वाली जो है वो कस्टमर तक पहुंचते पहुंचते वो 40-50 की हो जाती है. तो ये बीच के जो मार्जिन हैं ये आपकी इसी डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन और रिटेलर्स के होते हैं. And if you think that this kind of margin is making your product expensive and unaffordable for the customers, then तो फिर आपको जरूरत पड़ती है कि आप डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन का कंट्रोल ज्यादा ऑफिशियली एंड
हम इसे कॉन्ट्रैक्ट कंसीडर कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि अगर एक दो बंदों या एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन और एक रिटेलर या जो प्रोडक्ट बेच रहा है उनके दरमियान अगर एक कॉन्ट्रैक्ट हो कि इतना परसेंट आपका और
देखिए
इतना
एक
परसेंट
देखिए, हाँ,
हमारा.
बिल्कुल होता है. डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन में तो होता ही है. डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन बगैर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट के, डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन बगैर एग्रीमेंट की चलती नहीं है. ठीक है ना. और अगर चल रही है तो फिर वो एक मार्केट का एक मार्जिन प्राइस बीच में होती है, अपर एंड लोअर, जिसके दरमियान प्राइस वेरी करती है, उसी में आपका डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन जो है अपना प्रॉफिट कैरी करता है. अदरवाइज अगर ये चीज एग्रीमेंट के थ्रू हो, अगर ये चीज जो है लॉफुल और बड़ी मोर ऑफिशियल हो जाए तो ये ज्यादा अच्छी और ऑर्गेनाइज मार्केट कहलाती है. बिकॉज देखिए पाकिस्तान में या इंडिया में या सपोज तरह की जो ईस्टर्न मार्केट है वहां पर हमारी मार्केट्स क्यों बड़ी एक तरीके से अच्छी मार्केट्स नहीं कहलाती, बिकॉज कि हम लोग लॉफुली और ऑफिशियली नहीं जाते. हम लोग बड़ा कैजुअली मूव करते हैं, हम मार्जिन में अपने प्रॉफिट तलाश करते हैं. अगर हम यही सब चीजें जो हैं लॉफुली एग्रीमेंट के थ्रू लेकर चलें तो मार्केट मोर ऑर्गेनाइज हो जाती है. ठीक है ना. आपने रिटेलर को देखा होगा, रिटेलर कोई एग्रीमेंट नहीं करता आपसे. रिटेलर तो आपका सामान उठाता है डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर से और फिर अपना वो प्राइस मार्जिन डाल के फिर आगे निकाल देता है. तो रिटेलर को तो आज तक हमने नहीं देखा कि किसी से बैठ के उसने एग्रीमेंट किया हो, कोई फॉर्म साइन किया हो, कोई एग्रीमेंट साइन किया हो. लेकिन जितना मार्केट मोर फॉर्मल होगी, ऑर्गेनाइज्ड होगी, लॉफुल होगी, ऑफिशियल होगी, तो उसको रीड करना, उसको एनालाइज करना, उसको असेस करना और उस मार्केट में फ्यूचर फोरकास्ट करना जरा आसान हो जाता है. जो कि यूरोप में, अमेरिका में, यूएसए में चीजें होती हैं, वो बड़ा बड़े ऑफिशियल और बड़ा उससे चलते हैं, लॉफुल चलते हैं वो लोग. तो मार्केट स्टेबिलिटी, मार्केट सर्टेनिटी इसी से क्रिएट होती है. ठीक है. اچھا میں اب آپ کے سامنے آپ کے اٹینڈنس رکھنے والا ہوں، تو آپ لوگ دیکھ لیجئے کہ یہ ضروری چیز ہے، اٹینڈنس بہت ضروری ہے، اٹینڈنس نہیں ہوگی تو یہ ہمارے لیے بڑا پرابلم بنے گا. سوری، یہ آپ کی آ گئی اٹینڈنس. وعلیکم السلام. اچھا اب اس کو میں تھوڑا سا فارمل کر دیتا ہوں. یہ سارے لوگ میرے پاس آج موجود تھے، اور اس کے علاوہ اگر کوئی ہے لسٹ میں کے علاوہ کوئی باہر کا نام ہے تو پھر وہ مطلب ہے کہ آج ہمارے پاس ایبسنٹ. ٹھیک ہے، یہ میں لسٹ آپ کے ساتھ شیئر بھی کر دیتا ہوں آپ کی گروپ میں. تھینک یو ویری مچ، بہت شکریہ. سو نائس آف یو.
سر میرا نام نہیں آ رہا، سر میرا نام نہیں آ رہا، سر میں بھی آن لائن ہوں سر. واجد مسعود سر.
ایک منٹ، آپ کا نام کیوں نہیں آ رہا بھائی؟ یہ میں تو
سر سر
ابھی آپ کے سامنے ہی میں نے تو اس کا اسکرین شاٹ لیا ہے. آپ
سر
دیر سے آئے،
واجد کے نام سر.
آپ دیر
نہیں
سے
سر
آئے ہو.
میں تو 15-20 منٹ ہو گئے سر. 9 بج کے 17 یا 21 منٹ میں آن لائن تھا سر.
یہ دیکھیں اب یہ چیز جو ہے یہ ایک منٹ میں ذرا دوبارہ دیکھ لیتا ہوں.
سر میں 9 بج کے 21 منٹ.
ایک منٹ جسٹ منٹ.
ٹھیک ہے سر، ٹھیک ہے سر.
اچھا
ٹھیک ہے
واجد،
سر، ٹھیک ہے سر.
واجد احسان ولید کے واجد؟
نہیں سر، واجد مسعود سر.
واجد مسعود. ایک منٹ، چلو میں اس کو بھی ساتھ کے ساتھ ہی لکھ لیتا ہوں، لیکن آئندہ اس
سر
یہ خیال کریں کہ آپ کا جو یہ ہے نا اٹینڈنس، یہ بڑی
جی جی
ضروری ہے. میں
ٹھیک ہے
اس میں ایک
سر،
اور
ان
لسٹ
شاء
بنا
اللہ
اب اس میں
نیکسٹ
یقیناً
ٹائم
آپ کا
خیال کریں گے.
اب اس میں یقیناً آپ کا نام نظر آئے گا آپ کو.
جی
ٹھیک ہے،
جی 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 سر، آ رہا سر، آ رہا سر.
لیکن آئندہ سے خیال کیجیے گا کہ آپ نے کلاس میں پورے ٹائم کے لیے بیٹھنا ہے. ٹھیک ہے،
ٹھیک ہے نیکسٹ ٹائم ان شاء اللہ سر، نیکسٹ ٹائم ان شاء
اوکے
اللہ.
اوکے. تھینک یو ویری
تھینک
مچ،
یو.
تھینک یو.